This one is for you, David B.
Ooh, it's about that time. It's about that time that I read all of your comments. But this episode of the MLH Comment Show is going to be slightly extra today because I have to address something, something, because David B is a something, and you're gonna get called out, David B, for a bunch of stupid shit that you said on your stream that people clipped and sent to me. And might want to watch your mouth, David B, a little bit. Just might want to watch it a little bit because you could find yourself in a lot of trouble, as well as your master. So I'll explain after I get done doing the mission of reading all of the great comments that I got from all of you. Good morning to everybody. SY, the first one in, usually is the case. Nice to have you here, the lovely Southern Yankee. KT Pita's in the house. What's up, KT? Nice to have you here as well. Gina, I'm sick of all the crap. Did you hear how MVP minimized me suing his chatter? Gina, we're going to touch on a lot of this shit because, there's some juiciness to this comment show that you ain't going to want to miss. But there is a main purpose of this show, and that's to read your comments. And as soon as I get that done, I'll get into it. From a Poet's in the house, good morning. And man, that is a disturbing image. Oh, it certainly is. And it gets more disturbing by the day from a poet. Laura of DOA. What's up, Laura of DOA? Nice to have you here. Big Chief in the hizzy. What's up, Big Chief? Faded Joe, Ellie, the controller. Nice to have you all here. I'm glad that you guys are all here. This is a can't miss edition of the comment show. And we will get into it big time in a little bit because boy, oh boy, do I got some juiciness for all of you. Let me just pause this because I don't want to get rid of that because I might play that alone. Yeah, I agree, controller. Leave sunshine alone. And we're going to talk about real life shit with David B and how he just may have incriminated himself and his master with some of the things that he said yesterday. But we will get into that at some point, probably after I do these comments as I put them up on the screen right now. How dare you, Gina? We don't need Dougie for this. Trust me, I can. This one I got, Gina. Trust me on this. Moses, what's up, Moses? Nice to have you here as well. And I love Dougie. That's no slight on Dougie. He's awesome. But you guys ain't gonna want to miss this. Trust me. Tell your friends. Send out all those texts because this one is gonna be a good one, as they say. Buttercup in the hizzy. What's up, Buttercup? Nice to have you here. You need David B's full name and address. You know what, Gina? Let's just put it this way. I know a lot about David B. I know a lot about David B. That he. I don't go real life with anything, Gina. Just to let you know. But they're doing some real life bullshit over there, and I'm gonna take care of that today. All right. Let's just put it that way. Let me share this. Let's get through the comments and I'll talk a little bit about it. Okay. All right. We're all the way at the beginning here. Breezy on the replay crew on last week's comment show. Thank you very much, Breezy, for being on the replay crew. I really, really appreciate it. Drifter Wars. says, as I keep saying in Nora's chat, all the victims of abuse in the COS need therapy, but the abusers in the COS do not need therapy. Mike Rinder and Aaron never sought therapy because they said they never needed it. Poor people like Nora, Lara, the two Liz's, Natalie, Reese, and many others all get therapy to help them deal with the consequences of being victimized, abused, manipulated, and brainwashed by the abusers in the COS. It's good points, Drifter Wars. Drifter Wars is always very astute. Benson says, unfortunately, therapy only works if you work at it. And then Drifter Wars says, so true. These people were taught that psychology is evil, yet Scientology is based on it. These people were, a lot of things are based on psychology, actually. These people were also taught that they are better than non-Scientologists. These people were also taught that they can save people and are the only ones who can save the planet. So imagine that mindset going into therapy. It's not going to work because they know better, they are better, and they really don't believe in therapy to start with. So you're right to say it will not work if they don't put in the work. Yeah, 100% true. I couldn't agree with any of those. Couldn't disagree with any of those comments. Keeper says, damn, I miss Bernie. Yeah, see, you snooze, you lose, Keeper. Keeper says, I'm on Ellie's side. Well, why wouldn't you be on Ellie's side? This was the controversial stream that Ellie and I did. Keeper of the List says, well, America was declared an international security threat by a bunch of countries today. I'll be here. yeah, unfortunately. All right, let's see. Blue Unicorn says, I don't take sides usually, but MLH is my dude, so I'll make an exception. Edit, LOL. I'm good at spelling. Yeah. Exception. Yeah. I accept your correction of my misuse of the homophone of the correct word for exception. Touche. LOL. I accept. Except for next time, there will be no expectation or exception of mispronunciation. Perhaps misplaced punctuation. And then Bluff Creek Bigfoot says, I was compelled to issue a correction to the conflation of the two commonly confused words. Yeah. Buttercup, who's in chat, says, I'm not in a cult, so I'm not picking sides. Imagine that, Buttercup. You don't have to. And that was the whole point. Picking sides is stupid. Do what you want to do. I hope people got the humor of that whole stream. Some people, man, they got all up in their fifis about it. I was like pretty surprised. I thought it was very clear that it was a joke, and we were talking about not picking a side. Old Frizzle says, Ellie, I'm offended. I am 100% right 100% of the time. I am perfect, no matter what anyone says. Well, we'll make an exception for you, Old Frizzle. Blue Unicorn says, I'll pick a nose. Well, you must be learning from Chumley, Blue Unicorn. LA Deb says, Ellie, all day, every day. This was one of the best chats, fun, honest, playful, while still being respectful. Odale, MLH. Well, LA Deb, that's what the intention was, right? That's what that whole stream, that was the point, is to make a big farce of a good portion of the community that feels compelled because some idiot streamer tells them to pick a side, right? It makes zero sense. We're all free here, in the YouTube land, to pick and choose what we like and what we don't like. That it blows my mind that we got in trouble for that by a lot of people, but whatever. I've learned a long time ago that if you point out some stupid shit in the community, you're always going to have someone that doesn't like what you say. So you can't please everybody all the time, is the saying. What do you mean, you people? Blue Unicorn said, I don't know. What did I mean, Blue Unicorn? I'll leave it up for interpretation. Blue Unicorn says, who's on the bad actors list? Nick Cage, Jeff Goldblum, Pauly Shore, Steven Seagal, me, Ben Affleck. It's a long list. You know what? Nick Cage has actually put out some good movies lately, Blue Unicorn, so we might have to take him off the bad actor list. Jeff Goldblum is hit or miss. Pauly Shore, definitely. Steven Seagal, definitely. You, I don't know about that, Blue. I thought you did a fine job. And Ben Affleck hit or miss as well. But, Benson says, my only side is for the people who don't try to destroy someone else because of their feelings, maybe because of my age, Gen X. Well, Benson, you got the point of the stream. The whole point. That's the point of the stream, you know. Chris on the drum says, hashtag Team Mexican Ellie, the long hair controller. I like what you did there, Chris, on the drums. Anna from Canada, the lovely Anna from Canada says, Ellie is always the voice of reason. What makes MLH's channel truly special is we come together for one common cause. We are from different countries, different political views, and we enjoy different channels. We can all come here and are treated with respect. Thanks for this live today. I think it was very much needed. Anna, thank you for getting it, because that is the other point. Everybody comes to the MLH channel because it is a safe place for people with a common cause. Like you said, there's people of all different political views. There's people of all races, colors, nationalities, shoe sizes, blood types, and we all come here because we all do have a common cause, right? That I couldn't said it any better. Anna Drifter War says, we have Ellie as our voice of reason. They have David B as their voice of reason. So we are glad we have Ellie. And Hamid Up says yes. And you know what? This is a good analogy, and this is what I will be addressing later. That's a good point, Drifter Wars. We have Ellie, they have David B. David B gets a lot of shit wrong. Ellie very rarely makes mistakes because there's a bunch of stuff going on. Ellie is a meticulous, and mean she's got a memory that is very meticulous. David B not so much. And I'm going to correct David B on a few things later on, okay? So stick around, y'all. It's about ready to get a little spicy. All right. Pooh says, I agree. People should be able to make their own decisions and go in whatever chat they want. We are all adults. But if I have to choose a side, I choose Danny and Leah. Fuck the haters. All right. Well, see, Pooh, that's what you choose to do, and you're perfectly okay. Pippi. Pippi. Thank you for saying this after you called me a traitor. Nobody here called you a traitor. Pippi. I didn't call you a traitor. You insinuated that somehow, I called you a traitor. If it was Pooh that called you a traitor, well, that's you guys' beef. See, I can't vet everybody. I can't pick and choose who comes in my chat. I have to see. I'm the inevitable position of trying to get along with everybody, whether people hate each other or not, out of my chat. But in my chat, you are all treated equally. Okay, that's the way it goes. I'm not gonna read that. Okay. So the truth comes out there, Pippi. I didn't call you a traitor. I don't know where you got that. It makes no sense. Just because somebody in my chat says something about somebody doesn't mean that that's a reflection on me. I don't know how to bring that to people. Brandon says, Ellie is my controller and I like it, but I like MLH. He's great. Thank you very much, Brandon. I appreciate that. Taco Crack says, well, I am glad people can see how Nora is selective. She can support Reese and Tommy and won't call it out. Oh, and I thought she was anti-86 GOP. I'm sorry, but she deserves to get called out for the hypocrisy. Well, there you go, Taco Crack. Who am I to disagree with that? Brandon James says, about hot dogs, and at least MLH did not deep throat hot dogs like Slappy. You know what? It's no big deal if somebody deep throats hot dogs, I mean, but let's not be hypocrites, right? And pretend like I don't know. Slappy just does it in a way that's very degrading to the LGBT community, and I'm frankly exposing that with each and every one of these videos that we do with the rainbow stuff. I mean, it's just hypocrisy to to the hilt. Drifter War says today's show is brought to us by the word drama. Slappy came to LA to cause drama. Slappy was successful and caused a lot of drama, causing people to walk away from the protest. Oh, that's another point, Drifter War. Somebody in chat, remind me to talk about Slappy's activism, quote unquote activism, because I'm gonna address that in a minute from a real activist. Okay. Anyone who interviews him and says they don't want to talk about the drama are part of the Scientology conspiracy. According to him, because a lot of people say they don't want to get involved in all the drama, they're either Scientologists or working for Scientology. So Slappy has joined all the dots, and anybody that uses the word drama is part of the Scientology conspiracy, regardless of whether they talk about the drama he has caused or don't want to talk about the dramas others have caused. Again, Drifter Wars, you're paying too much attention. Bluff Creek Bigfoot says, I picked Sasquatch's backside. There you go. Tina McBride says, I watch different channels for different things. I'm a recent watcher of MLH. I love Rabbit's channel. I've been watching Aaron since his first stream. I don't always agree with everything. I love Jenna's channel. Different channels are different things to me. Tina, perfectly well said. Thank you. That's the whole point of that stream. King Bluto says, why don't you just pick your nose? Don't worry about picking sides. Just pick your own nose. Well, you'd have to go to Slappy's channel for that, King Bluto. He picks his nose and eats it quite often. King Bluto also says, all I've got to say about this is Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and stop with the BS. Be kind to everybody. Well said, King Bluto. Thank you very much. Where's Nana says, I love Ellie. Sorry. Why are you sorry? Don't be sorry. Everybody loves Ellie on this side. It's so stupid. I don't know. It's just whatever. Ham It Up says, Ellie Jetador. I finally caught on. Hate everybody. Best roast ever. That's the thing. People thought at first that it was super serious. It was a total farce and a fun stream to do for sure. All right. Kim A says, good show. Was watching the live, just chatting a lot less nowadays. I don't disagree, Kim A. It's all good. If you're a lurker and you want to just listen to the content, sometimes that keeps more of your sanity. You know what I'm saying? Drifter Wars. Slappy's word of the day will be division. Aaron is the person who caused all the division, period. That's it. Streets is also a person who caused all the division, period, because he didn't speak up about Aaron. Laura caused all the division because she controls who her friends can and can't talk to. I think Slappy's list of people who caused all the division is never ending. Meanwhile, the reality is he is the sole person to cause all the division. Another good point, Drifter Wars. Yeah, I think I agree. All right, Drifter Wars continues. The other day, I said he was peaking, but on his Voila Bridget live stream, he was showing all signs of being on something heavy. He went on a rant and a massive dummy spit like a spoiled 5-year-old child, all because someone said they were not interested in hearing about all his dramas. Apparently, the word drama is a trigger word for Slappy, and comparing him to Aaron, putting them in the same basket, got him all worked up. Laura DOA says he passed out last night after yelling at his chat. Then he slept sitting up, and she had to figure out how to close the live. Ooh. I think I got that stream, Laura DOA. Yeah, his blood pressure was probably sky high along with his blood sugar levels. He's not a very healthy man. He gets short of breath just walking and talking. He's only in his 40s, but he is less fit than my 90-year-old father. I think this guy will see 65. Oh, man. I don't know what to think about that, Drifter Wars. Cool Hand says, hello, MLH, Dougie, and Miss Beggy. Good to see you guys. Good to see you too, Cool Hand. Nice to have you show up in the comments. Appreciate that. Still Sassy says, how does one pay a blacksmith with otter pelts and turquoise beads? He's such an idiot. No, it's rabbit pelts. Still Sassy. It's rabbit pelts, okay? Lord of the Fat Guy says, blacksmiths? That is such an outdated term. It reminds me of a story of the time I took my granddad over the border into Canada. We were at a fresh fruit and veggie market, and Granddad wanted to buy some bananas. He He said to the guy, "I would like to buy a pound of bananas." I pulled him aside and said, "They don't call it that here. They call them kilograms." Granddad said, "I'm sorry about that. Could I have a pound of kilograms, please?" That's a great story, Laura the fat guy. All right. Anna from Canada says Ellie is a good woman and very loved. If you misunderstood Ellie's words on Saturday and lied about her after, you should apologize to Ellie. I am beyond tired of people using Ellie as their punching bag. It makes me feel sick. Anna, I've been fighting this battle ever since I've known this woman. You know what it is? People don't like strong women. And they don't like when strong women call out hypocrisy and call out other people's lies and bullshit. And Ellie is one to call out almost every lie and bullshit that she comes across, because Ellie is like that. She's like she would have made a great detective, Anna from Canada, because uh, putting the dots together is one of her specialties. Elron Oyam Bembe says the judge will be the true magician in this story. They'll make Scott disappear for a few years with the wave of a gavel. We can only hope, Elron. Laura of DOA says, I asked him to read aloud the Doctrine of Clean Hands. Look it up. And he personally blocked me from his channel immediately and quietly. LOL. Too funny to see how scared he is of educating his followers. The maxim prevents those who have acted improperly in some way relating to the matter of at hand from seeking a remedy or relief. Essentially, anyone with unclean hands, someone who has in some way contributed to their own injury or loss, or has in some way other way acted dishonorably relating to the matter, will be prevented by a court from remedy or relief, regardless of how the adversary has treated them. The maxim protects the integrity of a court, the doctrine of unclean hands. Okay, perfectly said, Laura of DOA. Here's the skinny on the law. I know more in one pinky about the law than Slappy has in his entire 400-pound body or more, whatever he weighs. He pretends to know the law, but he does not. He stumbled when he was acting like a sovereign citizen in his drug case. He stumbled into what he thought was a brilliant defense in his case, but he stumbled into a technicality regarding Miranda and the way that he got out of serving not 50 years, like he says. I think it was more like 20 years. But he got out of that because of technicality, and he ended up crying like a bitch and getting manhandled by some bailiffs and was resisting, and he spent 130 days in jail, which makes him a hardened criminal. And unless you spent time in jail, you're not a true protester. I mean, this guy doesn't know what he is. He doesn't know if he's a protester, an activist, a travel blogger, which officially he's a travel blogger, according to him in court under oath, y'all. So, I mean, he just doesn't know what the fuck he is. Guess he's still finding his way 40 years later. Lord of the Fat Guy says, MLH, you said you are thinking about traveling to LA to see Slappy's court case. Isn't it funny that his most loyal supporter, David Z, has never and will never turn up to support him in court? His own parents have never been to court to support him in LA. Dicker and her crew have never bothered to turn up to support him. It's almost as if they don't really care about him. More people will turn up to celebrate his guilty verdict. That in itself is a very embarrassing and humiliating fact. I'm assuming you meant to say, Lord of the Fat Guy. Yes, that is true. I'm going to give David Z a little bit of credit. He does have a wife that he needs to take care of, a quadriplegic wife. So that's why he can't easily travel. So I'll give him a pass on that, Lord of the Fat Guy. Even I can recognize things for what they are, facts for what they are. Laura of DLA says Melody and Hellgear are next. I would bet money on that. I thought Hellgear was already on the bad actor list, Laura of DOA. So I wouldn't put Hellgear in there. Hellgear has been out of that camp for a long time, but Melody probably. Hellgear says, and he still uses the wrong pronoun for Tilty. I was wondering about that camp. Is Nico YEG with them? I have no idea what you mean, Hellgears. Hellgear says, good for Rika. She got a whole mouth flapping stream dedicated to her. Yeah, and I gave Rika a tongue lashing too because she put me in the same category as Slappy, spreading some false bullshit that I made fun of autistic people or autism. So please show me, Rika, with receipts. No receipts, Rika. You got a reputation for having no receipts, Rika. Sorry, got to call a spade a spade. No receipts, Rika. That stays for a reason. You never have receipts, Rika. So until you provide a receipt, an audio clip that isn't AI generated of me saying anything or something written that I've written in my post or otherwhere elsewhere that I have said disparaging things towards autistic people, then shut up. Okay. Hellgears continues. My car, I drive. Come on, grannies, have some self-respect. Plus, I'd be terrified to be in the passenger seat. Yeah, his new squeeze, which, by the way, I can definitively say that is not Slappy's car. I'll talk about that in a minute because it relates to David B. Grace Nobody says, I hit the like button at 75. Replay crew. Thank you very much for being on the replay crew. Grace Nobody, I really, really appreciate that. I addressed the replay crew yesterday, and the replay crew is invaluable to me. I love the replay crew and all the people that watch on replay. It's fantastic that you guys do that. And thank you so much for hitting the like button. Lord of the Fat Guy says, you said Tilty was on your team and was getting nice, friendly greetings from you because you are genuinely happy, caring person, and that was all fine. However, when Tilty had to choose sides and they chose Slappy sides, as we know, he is a sad and lonely, miserable person who hates when people say hi in his chat. He even threatened to block anyone who said hi to him or each other in the chat. So now Tilty thinks what you do is love bombing compared to how Slappy treats his supporters. Maybe it is a little bit of that, Lord of the Fat Guy. I didn't even think of that angle, but yes, he gets very angry when people greet each other in his chat and exchange pleasantries. But this goes way back. Tilty, Fluffer, Rika, they all were very friendly with me, and I every time I saw them in any chat, I always give the ladies the 2 heart emoji and all the guys the thumbs up emoji. You guys, my receipts are out there. You guys are my receipts on this, right? I always do that, except when I'm in StreamYard and I'm doing DT because I don't have access to the emojis on StreamYard, so it's really hard to do that. But I will give an ASCII heart, which is the less than and the number 3 to the ladies in the chat because it's just something I do. Okay, not very hard. All right, let's continue. Drifter Wars. You told Kitty that you believe Slappy over her because he worked all his life. That was a joke, I know. Just like the joke he told when he was summing up his working life. If you added up all the jobs and years he worked, he would be 62 years old and have worked since birth. He started including jobs he almost got and jobs he applied for as jobs he had. Some of the jobs he had to ask his chat what the name of the business was because he didn't know. His censored chat are so gullible that they believe in him, even though they had to help him tell the lies. Make that make sense. Then Lord of the Fat Guy says somebody in his chat told him that he never stayed in one job for more than 2 years. He constantly came back with several jobs he kept for 3 years, but he didn't know the names of those businesses except for Walmart. He said he worked there for 3 years. Well, you know what you do when you lie, Lord of the Fat Guy? You continue telling other lies because you just, at that point, you just don't care. Look, he's into his 40s. If he hasn't changed by now and he hasn't stopped the fucking lies, he's not going to. He's a big fucking liar. Big liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Lord of the Fat Guy says when Slappy finds a reason to dislike someone, he becomes obsessed with attacking them and destroying them. The list is growing. Denver J was one of those people. Laura was showing interest in him, and when he was asking if Slappy and her were an item, they kept it a secret for a long time. So all of a sudden, Denver J went from being the best protester ever to being the worst protester ever. He left because of Slappy's behavior and constant attacks on him behind the scenes. Slappy was making up stories and spreading lies about him like he does with everyone he has an issue with. It is a definite pattern. Rib Guy, Becky, Eric, Laura, Ellie, Aaron, etc. The list is growing. He does it all the time, Lord of the Fat Guy. Drifter War says Ellie felt like she needed to apologize to Nora for doing the funny stunt on this channel a few days ago. No, you don't need to do that. Just because Nora doesn't have a sense of humor and doesn't understand sarcasm. That same thing happened to me today on her channel. She was talking about Slappy, so I joined in the attack on Slappy. I posted a sarcastic comment, which she stopped the show for. She read my comment and told me I was in a cult. My comment was, why do you pick on this professional protester? He is far better at protesting than you. He was put in a cage for doing it. All the best protesters have been charged. Aaron, Henri, Scott. She lost her shit and could not work it out if it was a joke or serious. She even asked if it was sarcasm that escaped her. That is exactly what happened to Ellie. Nora didn't get the sarcasm and made Ellie into a bad person just because Nora didn't get sarcasm. Nora was making a good point about how Slappy is running his shit like a cult leader, gathering information about each crew member to see if he can trust them, and also to get dirt on them for future control and dead agenting if they decide to leave. Good point, Drifter Wars. I have nothing to add to that. Lord of the Fat Guy, ha 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 ha. On Slappy's narcissist DOA stream, he went down the list of all the people who turned on him. Bad actors. When he came to MLH, he mentioned the way you dress, but could not string a sentence together and actually could not come up with an issue. Ha ha, he is pathetic. Then he laughed at Ellie for wanting to unalive herself because of him. And he asked to name his victims when he actually does things like that. He literally has zero content and is bored, brainless, since he can't drive aimlessly around California in his RV because he gave up on fixing that piece of crap. Now he just sits in it, wishing it would work, wishing it could drive up the hills without overheating, breaking down, or catching fire. He laughs at his own humorless jokes, exactly like Aaron does. They are so similar to each other in so many ways, it's hard to tell them apart. At least Aaron owns houses and has a car that works. Oh, well, you know, nothing that I can disagree with there, Lord of the Fat Guy. Rib Guy says, Replay Crew, as someone who talked with Jay every day up to the encampment, Jay left because of MVP. It's that simple. He tried to talk me out of coming down for the event. He told me that he saw way too many lies and mistruths and that he wouldn't partake. Because of me coming down, he stayed longer to show me how to use the tech I was bringing. Once the convoy happened and he followed through with what he promised Tori, he was out the door. I gave him a vehicle to drive Tori around when his truck broke down. Jay still backs Ellie as well as myself. Look at the facts, people. Not a rant by someone that seems to need a really tight jacket that fits backwards. Yep, I agree with you, Rib Guy. Rib Guy goes on to say, by the way, I sent you study material for you to be able to nail your Elmer Fudd. We haven't forgotten. I can't do Elmer Fudd, but I think I did a pretty good foghorn, leghorn Rib Guy, so I think I redeemed myself a little bit. Breezy says, Replay, I hope everyone understands just how much division he is still trying to cause, using names against each other, and don't let him cause the division. That's what I love about here. You don't let him divide. 100% Breezy. Thank you for recognizing that. We have a strong channel. The reason that my channel is strong, Breezy, is because I built it from the ground up with no bots. I haven't bought one sub, and I built it from the ground up because people trust me, right? I've done nothing to lead people astray in the entire time I've had my channel. Have I made mistakes? Yes, but they aren't unrecoverable mistakes. That's the difference between me and others, Breezy. All right. Jojo says, thanks for the mention, MLH. I appreciate it. I appreciate your contributions, Jojo. I hope one day you come back and give us some great songs because your songs were fantastic. Joe Ward says, replay. I got a gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Wishing everyone a happy, healthy, and safe Christmas. Joe Ward, we have a very loving and giving community here. Um, the gifted memberships obviously benefit me monetarily, even though they're super cheap. It's why people are able to afford 5, 10, 15, 20 memberships at a time to give to the community, because I keep my memberships way low. And it definitely helps me, and it definitely helps the community, and I always appreciate it. And I'm glad you appreciated your gifted membership. Please consider keeping it. I think I have enough content to warrant the less than a half a cup of or about a half a cup of coffee. Ari says, "What? I missed it." Ari, you're on the bad actors list over there. I mean, Slappy even did a thumbnail with one of your comments, Ari. Ari Forever says, MLH, just when I think DT might be crossing the line into quote unquote too mean, he does something else. Nothing is too mean for Slappy, Ari. Trust me on this. I've seen this one before. He's an exception to the rule. Grace Nobody says, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you very much, Grace. Very heartfelt Merry Christmas to everybody, if you celebrate Christmas, and happy holidays to everybody else. Drifter Wars says, great final show, guys. By the way, this is the final show, final um, comment show for the year 2025. I was looking at the calendar. This is the final one. Great final show, guys. It is hard to believe it's been 8 months already. Towards the end of this show, you touched on the topic of autism and the spectrum. May I suggest that if anyone is looking for something to watch while the crew takes a well-deserved break, there's a brilliant show called Love on the Spectrum, which is a reality documentary show following the journeys of several different people on the autism spectrum looking for companionship and love. Flea, if you haven't already watched it, I think you should, as it not only shows the individuals with autism, but also their families who live, love, and support their children through their trials and tribulations. There are several episodes per season and 2 seasons. I learned so much watching it and never saw any of them behave as poorly as this person spreading lies about MLH and causing trouble with people, then pulling out the autism card when people retaliate against them. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and season's greetings to everyone. Thank you very much, Drifter Wars. Very nice. Aphila says, loving the new intro clips. They're hilarious. Shout out to the cartoonist. Cartoonist does really, really good work, and that's a very underrated portion of DT. The cartoonist is fantastic. Thank you very much, cartoonist. I may have failed to mention you yesterday, and I apologize, but you are fantastic. Drifter War says, the maths ain't mathing. Chat told Slappy he never worked in one job more than 2 years. He came back instantly saying he did 3 years at Walmart from the age of 16 to 18. And let's see. That's only 2 years, not 3, Slappy. He obviously isn't very good at maths or telling the truth. He then rattled off several places he didn't know the name of 2 of them. Then he started listing jobs he nearly had. He mentioned several places he worked for 2 or more years, which adds up to 25 years. We all know that's not true. Well, again, very observant, Drifter. Aphila says, Elf is one of my favorite movies. Must watch at Christmas. I agree. I think it should be used as a personality test. If you like it, you're in with me, Aphila says. I love the movie Elf. I think it's an all-time great movie. Not only is it a great Christmas movie, but it's just a very sweet movie in general. And I think it should be Christmas viewing for sure. Fuzzy says, replay crew here. Becky as Marilyn Monroe was brilliant. She was really good, Fuzzy. I thought it was a great end to the year on DT. I mean, what a year we've had on DT. Let me go back and get some of your current comments here. Jojo, what's up? Nice to have you here. Rib Guy, nice to have you here. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? I'm going down the list here. Sometimes it pays to be boring. Sometimes it's nice to be dull. and induce folks snoring and numbing them out of their skull, from a poet says. Well, that's a lot of Chumley's streams, from a poet. Very boring. Kim A says, what's up, Kim A? Nice to have you in here. He's so afraid of MLH. He definitely is. Ellie was a casualty of horridness and didn't deserve one damn bit. All she did was work her ass off as a friend and a mod, and what happened? The shit all over it, and they shit all over it and put her through hell. 100%. Brandon, what's up, buddy? Oh, that's a love bomb. Oh, you know what are you doing? Chris, don't love bomb me, Brandon. How dare you? Chris, nice to have you in here, buddy. Let's see if I missed it. Dad Ant's in the house. What's up, Dad Ant? If I missed you, Jackie's in there. No, my plate is MBPFU. What's up, Jackie? Nice to have you in here. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. I'm sure the mods gotcha. The more Slappy knows what he says and does bothers you, the more he's going to come after you. Just try to ignore his bullshit. He's a nobody. Well, MLH, you were supposed to say brilliant, like a skipping record. Oh, brilliant. How dare you, Fuzzy? Damn it. That was a dig on me, wasn't it? Okay. Let me address something. I'm going to change my avatar here for a second here. Here we go. What is that, everybody? Does anybody know what that is? Up on the screen there, my new avatar, which I'll be using quite a bit from now on. Anybody know? I'm going to give you guys a second. Does anybody know what that is? I'm sure it's pretty easy. I mean, just in general what it is, not exactly what it is. Yeah, it's a car tag, Southern Yankee. That's a license plate. Let me go with a couple of facts here, okay? That's Michael Jehovah Witness for. Okay. This is a partial license plate from California is what this is, all right? David B. went on this whole rant yesterday that I doxed somebody. Does anybody know whose license plate this is? Because you shouldn't, based on 4 letters. 4 letters and number. Well, 3 letters and 1 number is up there. Can anyone in their right mind get the full license plate from these 4 characters? Yeah, it's part of a license plate, Jackie, right? So the answer is no. You cannot get the full license plate from this partial license plate, no matter how hard you try. Okay. David B went on yesterday onto his little shitty, piddly, almost non-existent channel, and I got some clips and a rundown of his stream, and said that I doxed someone. No, David B, I didn't dox anybody. But thank you for confirming that the license plate that's up on the screen is the actual license plate of 4 characters from an actual license plate of Slappy's latest vehicle that he's borrowing. Yeah, exactly, Rib Guy. Who is David B? I thought they don't believe in doxing, Fuzzy Pink Handcuff. Well, they don't. I have no clue, of course. I live my life in blissful ignorance most of the time from a poet. So it's a partial license plate from a poet. So everybody's got to remove their license plate, everybody. I'm sorry to tell you, go out to your cars right now. Everybody in chat, I want to protect everybody here. Hey, Joko, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I want you to all go out to your vehicles. If you have multiple vehicles, you're going to have to do this multiple times. Take off the license plate of your vehicle. Okay, take it off because you're doxing yourself every time you go into public, right? Take off your license plate, people. Everybody, all right? I'm dead serious now. Take off your license plate. You know, Sin says, "Oh, good Lord, you can get a ticket for doing that." No, I'm obviously being facetious, Sin. Okay. I'm making a point, right? Apparently, none of us can have license plates on because that's doxing people, right? Wouldn't the person who showed the entire license plate on a live stream be the one doxing someone? Ooh, that's a good point, Fuzzy. So, first of all, David B., thank you so much for confirming that this license plate is the actual license plate of the person that owns it. Thank you for confirming that, David B. Thank you so much for confirming that. You are so smart, David B. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that, David B. Number two, I could have showed the whole license plate, y'all. The whole license plate. It's not doxing. You know why? License plates that now here's the law, David B. I want you to open your ears. Take the Q-tips out, David B. Take the Q-tips out of your ear. I know you're double fisting Q-tips in your ears as we speak. Take those both out, okay? Take them out so you can listen to this part very clearly, dumbass. Okay? License plates are public knowledge. Okay? You have to have license plates in California, in New Mexico, in Arizona, in Colorado, and every other state. Okay? They require it, right? It's a requirement. You have to register your vehicle. Yeah, and by the way, David B., if you think showing a license plate is doxing, your master Slappy is the one who showed the license plate on his live stream, David B. So you should report your master for doxing. Okay? You should report that. Okay? If you think that a license plate is doxing, go to your master, or actually don't go to your master. Go to the authorities in California and report Slappy for showing the license plate on stream. And if you think I wasn't going to catch that, David B., of course I caught it. Of course I did. Because I'm always playing chess here, David B. Always playing chess here. All right? Not doxing. License plate are public knowledge. Mansplain him, MLH. He likes that. Beachcomber says, "What's up, Beachcomber?" What? License plates are public? They are public, Ellie. They are public. There are reasons why you get a license plate. Even though there's a VIN number, you have to get a license plate for a multitude of reasons. One of them is for insurance purposes. If you get in an accident, right? Let's say you do a hit and run and there's witnesses and the police interview those witnesses. Well, how are you going to identify? You can't go up there and get the VIN real quick before the car jettisons off, right? So you get a license plate because it's much easier to remember those 7 digits or so. I think some states have 8. I'm not 100% certain on that. But most of them have 7, right? 7 either digits or letters that identify your vehicle, right? And the owner of that vehicle, right? Okay. So now that we've got that established, right? There are other reasons for having license plates, right? Let's see. Dad Ant says MLH sent me a telegram and asked me to ask him at a 1 hour into the show whose license plate is that. Oh, Dad Ant, why are you fibbing like that, sir? What's up, Hellgears? Nice to have you here, Hellgear. Let's see. Let me get to some comments here. Even my bike. Oh, I got to tell my hog chapter. Gina says, "Oh yeah, Gina. Yeah. Take off that license plate because you're doxing yourself, Gina." Why did they show it? Duh. Ellie says, "Comment, just my opinion, but I believe Scott wanted people to see the license plate. Why else would he have showed it? Just asking questions." Maybe. Technically, 2022 looks a lot like 2025. Wow. It's 2023, Dan. That's when that car was purchased. It's only had one owner since 2023. That's interesting. One owner. King Charles says, been laying in bed listening. Believe I'm still drunk from my work Xmas dinner party last night. Yeah, stay laying down, King Charles. Take it easy, buddy. KT Peta says, MLH, he's crying about 86 and the money to Nora. Oh, well, I can't help that. Just wait, David B. MVP will be making all of our license plates soon. Maybe yours too, David B. I don't go real life, David B. But this little partial plate that you confirmed, David B. You confirmed, right? You are the one that confirmed that it was the actual license plate, part of the actual license plate. So thank you for that, for confirming it. Does that owner live in Orange County, Dad Ensign? Oh, maybe, Dad En. I don't know. I didn't look into it. I'm not into going real life and finding out exactly where one's lives. I'm not into doing reverse imaging on houses that Slappy shows on his live stream and finding out exactly where he's working right now, Dad En. I'm not into that, but somebody probably is. 2 Long Islands and 3 espresso martinis. Oof, King Charles. Oh, man. So there's another little thing that David B did that probably is going to cause him and Chumley a lot of problems. He has been intimidating witnesses. He told his chat to go after me and Dougie. Yeah, go after me. A potential witness. Because people that point out Chumley's live streams to the DA are potential witnesses to crimes. So the moment that David B decided in his infinite wisdom, right? Remember, he's playing checkers. I'm playing chess here. In his infinite wisdom, decided to tell people to go after me, a potential witness, and also Sunshine. Sunshine, if you're listening, I hope you're paying attention. And you might have some legal action here against Chumley and David B. Pretty serious now, isn't it, David B? When you make mistakes like that. And I'm not afraid to tell you this, David B, because you got to learn somehow, right? You got to get slapped down. Got to get slapped down, David B, because you're getting too close to the sun. You're like Icarus, flying too close to the sun there, son. Your wings are going to get burned here real quick, and you're going to fall down to earth. Do you understand what I'm saying, David B? Do you understand what I'm telling you? You've been trying to intimidate witnesses, David B. And I'm sure when I report this to the DA, you might have some culpability, but more importantly to you, your master will have some culpability in this. Could cause him to be in jail a lot sooner than what you think, David B. Icarus. That's who you are right now, David B. And I'm giving you a firm warning. Leave me the fuck alone. Get my name out of your mouth, which I know you won't because you continue to do it. And you will continue to do it because you're so far up your master's ass that you can't see the sun that you're about ready to get burned. You understand, David B? You're a little guppy in a big sea of sharks here, buddy. And you're going to get swallowed up and chewed up and spit out. You're not invincible, David B. And unless you want someone else to take care of your wife while you're in jail, spending a little bit of time in jail while your master is also spending some time in jail, you're going to stop. I think you're a slightly smarter than your master is. Your master no matter what I say, will not listen to me, even though he does listen to the show all the time. And we try to give him some decent humanly advice, like shutting the fuck up when you got a case going on, especially when it involves your freedom. I think David B. I think you might be a little bit smarter, but you're probably going to prove me wrong, David B. You're going to continue to tell people to go after me, right? Which is witness intimidation, David B. It's what you're doing right now. And if you think that you're living on some property in Wisconsin that you can be immune to the reaches of the law don't care. All 50 states have laws against witness intimidation, David B. And federally, there's laws against witness intimidation too. I want to read you something, David B. I want to read you something real quick. It is a serious crime in California defined under Penal Code 136.1 to intimidate or try to stop someone from reporting a crime, speaking to police, district attorneys, or testifying, even just by attempting to do so. This, quote, witness intimidation can lead to misdemeanor or felony charges with jail. Do you understand, David B., what you're doing? You're putting your wife at risk by telling people to go after me. Okay? So knock your fucking shit off. Otherwise, you might find yourself in a 6x6 cell. Whether it be there in Wisconsin. Well, I'm guessing it would be there in Wisconsin. Okay? So just saying, David B., watch what you're doing. Stop trying to intimidate me. I'm going to report whatever the fuck I want to the DA, and you ain't going to stop me. But if you try to intimidate me, you're going to get in trouble for it. And Chumley is going to get in even more trouble for it. And I ain't fucking around, David B. Okay? So this little plate up here, which is a partial plate, which had no bearing on anything. But again, thank you for confirming that that's the actual license plate of that red Mustang that Chumley does not own, that he's driving around. See, these are facts, David B. I can state all kinds of facts on here, and there's no repercussions for stating facts, right? So fuck around and find out, David B. Fuck around and find out. And here's another thing, David B. You think that Scott is a model driver, that he is super safe when he drives. And I, in fact, am going to tell you, David B., you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Okay? There are laws against reading chat while you're driving, David B. I've got several streams where your master is driving around, Slappy is driving around reading his chat. That's reckless driving, David B. And the little statement of fact that you think is a fact that him driving 15, 20 miles under the speed limit is safe is absolute horseshit, David B. If you're driving in a 55 and you're driving 35, you're actually putting a lot of people at risk, David B. Slow driving is super dangerous. Super dangerous. If you're not going with the flow of traffic at the very least, you're putting a whole shit ton of people at risk, David B. I know you think you know everything because you're a little bit older, but you've lived your entire life in fucking ignorance, David B. You're a worthless fucking piece of shit who took up the wrong cause. Do you realize that Slappy doesn't care about you, David B? He cares not about you at all. I don't know why you simp for him so hard, why your head is stuck up his ass so fucking hard, but it is. Okay, whether it's money considerations, which I suspect, whether it's you guys have dirt on each other, I don't know. But either way, you better find a different way out of this and bow out, David B. Because like I said, you're a little guppy in a big pond of sharks. Big sea of sharks. Jackie says MLH, he thinks more of his master than his wife. He wouldn't spend so much time on those streams. Well, that's true. Slappy in chat laughed so hard when he took the channel down. Yeah, well. Fuck him, Helgier. Actually, Dadan says I had a person that is very near to that case. They said Scott's in this situation because he was dumb enough to listen to David B. and Direwolf. I heard. Gina says, and Slappy confirmed they are a group because he was told about me suing his chatter. Interesting. Maybe some Rico shit there, Gina. According to him, the DA isn't even watching them anymore. Well, let them continue to keep on thinking, Gina. Doesn't even care about others to text and drive and go live. Jesus fucking Christ. Yep. KT. Several times he's been on those streams reading his chat. Right? Don't think I pay attention. What's up, Carrie Ann? Nice to have you in here. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you. What else do we got? Bernie has the sniffles.
I do.
She does. What's up, Bernie?
I'm sick.
She's got a cold.
I am sick.
And she's going to get me sick, too. I think we're doing the right thing by taking a break, y'all.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your stream with this new
The-
thing. Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding, sweetheart. You're okay.
Ugh.
She's in studio here. So David B, you I think you've got yourself into a little bit of water you don't want to get into. So stop with the bullshit. Stop telling people to come after me. All two people that are in your chat. Because it's witness intimidation, David B. Witness intimidation. Penal Code 136.1. You're going to get your master Slappy in a lot of maybe that's what you want, David B. Maybe you secretly want him to go to jail because then he can't dish out what he's got on you. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Rib Guy says, I love how he admits that he's looking for someone that will let him use their address to claim residency. He's putting those people at risk and doesn't see it. Yeah. So that's all I got to say, y'all. I mean, I you know, there was no doxing. License plates are public knowledge, for one. Number two, this was a partial. Number three, you better go report Slappy there, David B. He's the one that provided this license plate. So, just saying. Drifter Wars in chat, a crazy guy like David B has signs in his front yard saying vets lives matter, vets against Trump. Really? Drifter Wars? I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. I might have to get an avatar of that. Is that doxing? Is that doxing if I find those signs and I want to put them on my avatar? Drifter Wars. Is that going to be okay with the court? Hellgear says the address thing. Probably not. Hellgears. Probably not. No more public license plates. Nobody can have any license plates anymore. No license plates. How stupid is that? To not know that license plates are public. You're pretty dumb, David B. You're pretty dumb. Have to say, with friends like you, who needs fucking enemies? KT Peter says, just FYI, they sell promotional items like license plates. So how did David B think otherwise? Oh, well, he confirmed it. KT Peter, this is the license plate of the red Mustang. Jackie says, if you go on the roads from now on, take your plates off. No, Jackie, you can do it another way. Put blinders on so you don't see license plates. And they got these new glasses. You can have these like meta glasses where it puts blurs on everybody's license plates. So maybe you want to invest in that. How stupid is that, y'all? How dumb is that? That David B didn't know that license plates are public knowledge. Shows what he knows, right? Purchase a garage, Ellie says. Well, but what happens when you're driving your vehicle around, Ellie? I mean, holy shit. Well, I think we've confirmed at least one thing. David B is not nearly as smart as he thinks he is. He's an idiot. Let's see. Get a license plate flipper, KT Peter says. I could tell you how to protect your info from the plates, but I don't want David B to know. Well, Dad Ant. I mean, I would never dox anybody. I would never encourage anybody to do that ever. I don't do those things. But someone else has encouraged other people to intimidate witnesses, David B. Don't intimidate me anymore, David B, and don't intimidate any of my chatters either. Sunshine's got a really strong case against you, David B, and so do I. And your master. We hide ours in the UK. The police have to guess by make and color. It's a fun game, Beachcomber says. Yeah, that would be fun if we did that here, Beachcomber. But it's public knowledge here. All right, everybody. That's all I got for you. David B, you've been warned. Might be some repercussions coming your way, but especially your masters might have far-reaching effects of what you said on your stream, your little piddly ass fucking stream, your little guppy stream. Dadan says David B lives in a town with another family, not very street smart. You should see the town dances. Oh well, hoedowns, Dadan. B is for bitch made. I missed the stream, Sally said. What's up, Sally? I'll go back and watch. Yeah, you're gonna want to watch this one, Sally, and especially at the end here. Go back about 20 minutes. You'll get the gist of it. I have a thought on the Stang. Maybe Sally the hero's car, the slow incident. I don't know, KT. I don't know who that person is. That's the thing, and I don't want to know. Chumley's making it awful easy, though, offering up license plates on his stream. So David B, if you were a man of your word, you would turn Chumley in because he doxed. He doxed someone. Oh, David B. How could you betray your most dearest and sincerest of friends? How could you do that? How could you do that? I could tell you, MLH, but Ellie would time me out, that nonsense. Feel better, Bernie, Southern Yankee says.
Thank you.
Poor Bernie. She looks miserable today. I think you're going to just be bed rest until you have to go to work. We're not going anywhere today. All right, everybody. You guys stay safe. Slappy could stay at Green Acres Campground while visiting David B. Well, he can't go out of California, man. Bernie hugs, Sally says. Sending good vibes from a poet says. Poor Bernie.
Oh, thank you.
She'll feel better. Give her a couple days. It's a cold.
I'm just a baby.
You are a baby, but that's okay.
I'm just a baby.
All right. He asked, when you reach the center of the earth, when do you turn over? All right, King Charles. Thanks a lot. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Like I said, I'm going to take next Saturday off. I think I've earned it. I will be doing sporadic streams, probably Monday, Wednesday, and Friday like normal, but way less robust, no ads, anything like that. Just a no frills, keeping up with what's going on because it's always so much. And I want to keep everybody abreast of everything that's going on as much as I know. You know,
You like breasts.
I do like breasts. But anyways, take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. If you're struggling with your mental health, please reach out to somebody that you know, love, and trust. In lieu of that, my email is mexicanlonghair@gmail.com. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or a counselor, but I do listen, and sometimes that helps. But if I don't get back to you in a timely fashion, just remember, somebody out there thinks you are their favorite. Hold on to that thought. It could save your life. There is a hotline you can dial or text. That number is 988 in North America. Dial that number. Those people are wonderful. They can help you out. They can listen to you, all that stuff. If you're not in North America, type in your browser of choice, mental health help. Click on any of those options, and that'll get you directed to someone who can help you out. Take care. Don't do anything rash. You know, there's always hope. And, you know, peace out, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. Hope you guys have a safe weekend, safe week. You know, the holidays are one of those times where people get nostalgic and they get in their feelings. Sometimes it's good to step outside of those feelings. Talk to somebody if you're feeling down, if you lost a loved one. I mean, we've all been there, right? I think about my grandparents all the time, and I wish they were still here, and especially around these times of the year. But just understand that there are other people out there that need you. I need you. So thank you guys very much. Have a great day. And stop doxing people, everybody. You know, stop putting your license plate out there for everybody to see. I'm kidding, obviously. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy holidays to all.